Hi everyone, it's Andrew with River North Gym. Welcome to the next video in our mobility series. And today we're going to talk about the glutes. So usually when we're talking about the glutes, the focus is always strength, strength, strength. We're always talking about weak glutes and how to strengthen them. And not that strengthening the glutes isn't important, because it is extremely important. Weak glutes can cause problems through the low back, down the chain and into the knee, all sorts of issues. But also tight glutes are also a problem. And if you're sitting all day and compressing the tissue and not getting much movement, then the glutes are probably getting tight and weak. So once the muscle tightens up, it makes it basically harder for it to work. Right? A muscle can't be strong if it can't change length and contract, right? Because that's how muscles express force. So sometimes you have to roll your glutes and loosen them up a little bit in order to effectively strengthen them through bridges, deadlift variations, stuff like that. So we're just gonna go over basic, glute foam rolling. Right? It's really basic, it's really simple, but it works really well. And then you can chain this together with other stuff with more complex drills. So take a foam roller. Because the glutes are a big muscle and they're pretty dense, you can also use like a softball or a lacrosse ball or anything else. They're not as sensitive to pressure. Like you wouldn't roll your IT band with a lacrosse ball; this would be terrible. But the glutes can handle stuff besides a foam roller. So use whatever you have available. Right. So usually I start basically just dead on, right? You can kind of actually feel the bone there, and just sit straight on it, right? And then start working down from kind of the top of your hamstring, kind of where your leg meets your butt, right? And then all the way to almost the back of your hips, where it starts get into your low back. All right. Just work back and forth, and then usually as I go, I'll start to lean more and more onto that side. And about right here, I actually have kind of a knot. I can feel the muscle kind of catching over the roller. So if I were actually loosening this up, I would sit on this alone for 40 to 60 seconds. Or just really small movement just to go back and forth and loosen it up. I'm not going to do that here, of course. But again, just go through the full range of motion, right? Take your time, all right? Hit the whole muscle. And then you can experiment with kind of where your leg goes in order to, again, open up different parts of the muscle and hit different parts of the tissue. Right? So once you get that on one side, then go ahead and just repeat that on the other. A minute or two each side is plenty. You don't need to spend a ton of time on this, but a little bit of gradual pressure will kind of just wake that muscle up and make it more receptive to change in length. For strengthening drills, you can also stretch it after this with the pigeon stretch. You can go into rolling the piriformis, which is kind of below the glute, now that you've loosened up the top layer. So a couple different things you can do after this, depending upon whether your goal is to prime for movement that you're about to do in a training session, or if your goal is just to kind of recover and loosen things up if you've been sitting on the couch for a while. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them below. Let me know what you thought about this video, and thanks for watching.